Before we get into this video, I'd like to thank Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. Whether you're in need of a website, domain, or online store, make your next move with Squarespace. Whether you've just gotten into film photography or you're a seasoned veteran, there's always room for a new 35mm emulsion to spice up some variety in your life. Everyone knows about Portra, Kodak's professional line of colour film, which without a doubt is technically the best colour film on paper. With the highest dynamic range, the lowest grain, and awesome pastel tones, it's pretty hard to beat. However, when you're looking to break out of the norm and start shooting a film that not everyone already has, maybe it's time to try the wildcard, Fujifilm Pro Plus 2. So a few weeks ago I spent some time in New York and Canada. I shot nearly everything on my travels with this Yashica T5 and some rolls of Pro Plus 2. And I have to say, even though I knew what to expect since I've shot it before, I couldn't be happier with the lovely tones from this film. So what is Pro Plus 2, you ask? It's a 200 speed 35mm film that only comes in 36 exposure rolls. However, if this was made in medium format, I would definitely be shooting it. Since it's marketed as a pro film, what I'd expect to come with that is a vaster dynamic range, so that if you're shooting in mixed lighting with bright highlights and dark shadows, it should be able to render most of the scene. Also, I'd probably expect it to have pretty low grain, but considering this is a 200 speed film, I wouldn't really be worrying about that anyway. So, what's so great about this film, you ask? First of all, I think the film has lovely colours. It's not vastly different from Portra, it's still got this nice kind of neutral tone, but this does depend completely on how you scan it. There's a lot of interpretation when it comes to scanning colour negative film, and some labs will do it different to others. However, I just really like the way this looks. It's not exactly the same as Portra, it's got some subtle differences, but it wouldn't look completely out of place if you were posting images that you took on this alongside with Portra. Also, the low grain is pretty great. Shooting a 200 speed film is nice because there isn't this immediate grainy feel. It doesn't look like a really lo-fi photo. And my final pro of this film is the price. I think you can get 5 rolls for $27, which is quite the bargain. That's a lot cheaper than Portra, and for what it produces, I'm pretty happy with that. So, where are the downsides to this film? The first one is probably the only one, but it is kind of big. It's pretty hard to get hold of. You can't even buy this film in the UK. As far as I know, it's only in America. And even so, it's pretty hard to find in America at the moment. It's currently out of stock on Amazon, which is the place where I bought it before, and I'm not sure that anywhere else stocks it. So definitely have your eyes peeled for it. Maybe someone else has better detective work than me and can find some of it available at the moment. However, I have been told by some people before that it's simply Fuji C200 that's been repackaged. I'm not sure if this is the truth. I'd like to think that it's not, because it's marketed as a pro film and the C200 is way more consumer film, but if it is, at the same time I'm pretty happy because that stuff's way easier to find. I've currently got a roll of C200 loaded. I'm gonna shoot some of that soon and see if it looks similar, and who knows, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised by that. So in related news, the photos that I shot in this video and also the trip to Canada, which we'll be seeing soon, are currently being printed in Germany as a new zine, which is pretty exciting. It's 40 pages with 30 colour photographs printed on wood-free uncoated paper and saddle stitch bound. As you're watching this video, it's actually currently on the printing press, so I can't show you one in hand. However, here are the lovely mock-up photos of what it will look like. It's expected to be ready to ship in just over a week, but if you'd like to pre-order it now to ensure that you get a copy, I've made it live on the Native Feedback store, which you can find a link to in the description. It's an edition of 500, so hopefully if you see this when the video comes out, it will still be available. And why not maybe check out issue 3 of Negative Feedback as well if you haven't already got it. In other news, next week will be the video from Canada. So stay around for that, see the rest of the photos, also just Canadian fun. Finally, issue 4 is currently just being finished up. It should be ready in January, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And finally, I'd like to thank Squarespace again for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to build a website to host your photographic portfolio, your blog, your store, anything, you can build your website with Squarespace, and it's really, really easy. It's pretty much just dragging and dropping. Anyone could do it, and it looks really professional. And you can get 10% off using the code Negative Feedback. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you liked the photos. Hopefully you liked the zine. Yeah, see you soon. Goodbye.